and I am the founder and visionary of A Gift to Dance. And I want to tell you about my book. It's called A Gift to Dance, Cultivating Your Ministry.
In this book, I detail how to understand your call, starting and maintaining your ministry, giving it structure, dance etiquette, how to flow in different shifts of the spirit, garment care, and so much more. To purchase your signed copy, please click the link down below in the description box.
You can use this as a tool and a resource to take your ministry to the next level. So grab your copies now.
Oh, can't you feel him? Can't you hear him? Can't you hear him? Oh, Baba Siande, he says, behold, I'm doing something new. Even now I'm doing something new. Do you not see it? I'm making ways in the wilderness. I'm making rivers in the desert. I'm doing things you've never seen before.
Hello, welcome to another episode of The Dance Room. Please be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, Gift to Dance TV. You can follow us. You can find us on Facebook at A Gift to Dance Conference, as well as follow us on Instagram at A Gift to Dance. I'm so excited because I have a very special guest in the house tonight. Yeah, so please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, so my name is Fred Robinson. I'm 23 years old. I reside in Carrollton, Georgia. Woo woo, even though nobody know where it is, truthfully. Not even on the map. But I am a member of Church Without Walls, the Hope Center, where the founder and visionary is Apostle Walter DeAndre Green, and the First Lady is Pastor Shawnita Green. And I'm also lead of Ministry in Motion, aka Church Without Walls, my ministry there. I'm also founder and visionary of Kingdom Connections, and I'm founder, visionary, and leader of Radical Faith Arts Academy.
Look at him. You got stats on stats on stats. Come on.
Oh, glory be to God.
Well, welcome to the Dance Room. Give everyone a little bit of background about yourself, like how you got started in ministry.
Ooh, I have to dig in the files for that one.
Okay.
I know I was younger. I was around the age of 7. I was already active in something. My mom always wanted me active in something when it came to sports or just anything school-wise or just active. But we tried to take a different turn and say, you know what, let's get active in church. I wanted to do it. I was like, Mom, let's do something different. Let's go to church. So it came to a choice of dance ministry, my ministry, or the step team. And I definitely wanted to go to the step team, but it didn't work out for me because I have 2 left feet and 3 right feet at the same time. So I joined in the mime ministry at the age of 7, and not realizing that I had a passion for it. I had a calling within the mime ministry. So I grew up into where I am today. Never took a break, never stopped, continuously flowed into the ministry until the age of 23, and still going on now.
That's wonderful. That's kind of how I got started too. My mom, like I dance. I've been dancing since I came out of the womb, and my mom was like, "Okay, you gotta stop. Not necessarily stop doing that, but you know, you gotta serve God. You know, be in my house."
Definitely.
So, you know, that's how that came about. And of course, anything that I do, I put 1,010% into it. And I ain't looked back since.
That's good. That's good.
Almost 14 years in this thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's an accolade. Woo, woo.
So, it's been a
That's
journey.
great.
It's been a while. Now, I know that you're young. You know, you don't look it, but not in a bad way. But you know, you don't look so young as you say you are. So that's a great thing, and I guess you will be considered a millennial like me.
Millennials.
So, what is some advice that you can give to those who are actually starting out in ministry, who are actually in your
Mm, I say the biggest advice I can give, because it's the same advice that I lived under for so long that I'm still living under now, is one, be humble,
Mm-hmm.
two, have an open heart, and three, be a listener. I think that is the biggest foundation to starting anything, especially when you're starting in anywhere, especially as a member or in ministry. Just starting there, because there's definitely things you can learn. There's definitely things you can grow, and there's definitely things God is going to lead you into. But sometimes you just honestly have to hear for it. You have to be on the foundation of having an open heart and being humble to it. There is no way you can be led into anything new, not even learn anything new, when you feel like you already got things all together from the start. So
Right.
I definitely say having that as the biggest foundation, starting that is the biggest thing that you can have. That'll continuously keep you going.
Yes, and be open to be teachable as well, because it's a lot of
Mhm.
things that you're gonna come across along the way that you've never seen before, never experienced, never done. But don't shy away from it, because it will take you to another level in your ministry. So keep that in mind as well.
Definitely. Definitely.
Now, what about the seasoned folks like you and I?
Oh man. I would say keeping the same advice there as well. I'll give it in two parts. Definitely having an open heart,
Mhm.
being humble, and still being a listener, because that's just something that's going to be concrete with you in any level. And how, where if you're from the beginning or your season, you always have to keep that, because you always have to be, like you said, keep being teachable and keep growing in that manner. So, and the second thing is, especially if you're seasoned, I'll say understanding to whom much is given, much is required is a big thing. Because, especially once you experience some things, you hit some things, you run into some situations or anything, no matter good or bad, it's some things you just feel like, you know what, I don't feel like doing it no more. Or some things you just feel like, I don't feel like doing it, just backing up from it. But when you realize that, there's a lot of things that you are called for, and there's a lot of things you honestly have to give up to continue on that path, it'll honestly continue flowing and continue going in a good direction for you.
Yes, absolutely. That's good advice. I'm gonna put that in my little handy dandy notebook.
I keep it in mind all the time. I feel you.
Yes, yes, yes. Because there's a lot of things, that I've kind of briefly discussed with you a few days ago about what I'm trying to do, and it's a lot of work, but I'm willing to put in that work in order for it to come out in excellence. Because can't accept nothing less than that.
Definitely.
So
Everything in excellence.
keeping that in mind. Now, what is your opinion on the state of, the dance and mind ministry today? I know we're in the midst of a pandemic and everybody's losing their minds, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so many things. We're trying to be creative and, keep it alive, but then, some people kind of just fell flat with it and just kind of just walked away from it altogether. So what is some advice? Well, not advice, but what's your, opinion on it as of today?
Uh, I see. It's like I see it's definitely like I see it in a good way and a bad way, if that makes sense. I see it can be a new beginning for a lot of people. I see it's a great moment of new creation within this moment. And I can definitely see that a lot of people are definitely taking this time to get revived and get replenished. And then a lot of other people, I feel like it's a time to get redirected and get repostured. Because truthfully, any chaotic storm, anything like this happens, I believe God is still in the process of, not even believing, but God is in the process of creating something new and creating and making sure that His light is still being seen in His opportunity in His
Mhm.
time. So a lot of things within us are birthing out, and it's different. A lot of people have. We're not used to not being on stage, not being able to go forth and physically with a lot of people around us or anything. But God is allowing us to have a new, different avenue to be able to birth. Like I know in this season that we've been down, I've been able to birth something different. God has laid on my heart and laid in my belly to birth Kingdom Connections, a place where we all can connect and grow all together in unity as a creative arts ministry. So with that being said, there's a lot of new things that's being created. And not only that, but a lot of people, the time that they didn't feel like they had time to breathe before or a break or whatever, this is the great time to just honestly sit down and breathe and grow in Christ, grow in life, be able to take this time out. But then there's the other people that I believe God is definitely showing them themselves. God is definitely showing them a lot that's within their hearts and a lot that's within their perspective. So God is giving them a chance to say, yo, you see where you're at? I'm going to need you to shift back over here into this way and honestly continuously follow me. And it's not too bad. It's not anything bad. It's honestly a great moment and a great opportunity for God to just sit here and be like, yo, some things got to change. So it's a good time to really just change some things. So I believe it's a new beginning, new creation, and a changing moment for a lot of people.
Yes, this is definitely the time to like give yourself the grace to rest, but also if you have that push to be creative, do it. You know, create your own stages so people can, you know, see, because it's really not about us. We're really supposed to be shining the light on God and shining, you know, showing His glory to His people through our movements. So, of course, right now we can't do that within the four walls of the church, but we have so much technology and so many different, you know, advances and advantages, you know, to still get that message out. So take advantage of this time because from what I've been seeing, the church it's never going to be the same.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's not going to go back to business as usual. It's not. It's totally different. And especially in this digital age. And you also have to be careful too because even though we're in this digital age, you have to be careful too because this is also the season of exposure. So whatever is in your heart, if it's not of God and you push it out there for the people to see, the people are going to see that. And then that's going to be blood on your hands. So just be mindful of that too. Stay in posture of prayer. Get you a closet or a room, the bathroom, the shower, your car.
Your own room.
Stay in the face of God during this time because it's you think it's crazy now. You think it's crazy now. And this is not for you to, you know, be in fear or anything because I mean if you're doing the right thing, you don't have nothing to worry about anyway.
Right.
But just be mindful, that's all.
Amen to that.
Dropping gems on y'all.
That's the truth.
That is the truth. Now, I know we're in a house. We're not, you know, near our peers and everything like that. So, how are you able to keep active with your ministry?
So I know one of the biggest ways we do, we're continuously, one is communication. Still not just focusing on the ministry side of things, but focusing on health, focusing on their mental health and everything like that within this time. Because this definitely chaotic time. It's very very wild in a sense. So just making sure that they're okay. And then two, encouraging them with not only scripture but devotionals. I know one thing that we did before we were active and when we were still meeting physically and everything, we were doing devotionals. We were still reading scripture, especially we were talking about songs and being able to pour out what God has given us within songs. So a lot of that is easily able to be transferred into what we do now, which is social distancing. but be able to meet on the camera. You know, we still talk about the devotionals. We still talk about scripture. We still even practice songs virtually. We try. It's still a work in progress because, you know, some services not the best, you know, trying to find a good outlet, but we definitely continue connecting.
Yeah, I feel like if we practice, you know, social, because I tried it, you know, with the mask and everything, and it wasn't bad. It really wasn't. I was able to breathe and everything and still do what I needed to do. So I feel like if we practice, you know, the guidelines and the, you know, the social distancing and kind of just get close to each other when we have to, if it's in the choreography, I feel like it'll be okay.
Yeah, I agree. That's what we do. Even though we as a ministry, we have our own CDC requirements, is what I'm placing here. So like a lot of times, like where we practice at, if there's like more than just 5 people there, we be like, all right, we gonna have to meet somewhere else, or we just gonna have to go somewhere else. We wear masks. We make sure that we are locked down and make sure that we are in good protection of our own selves. So even if we meet physically, yeah, we still social distancing too.
Yeah, everybody space out. See what y'all need to do. You
Don't
know
touch
what
me.
I'm saying? Yeah.
Corona.
Yeah, corona. Cause I gotta throw, you know, me and my mom, we got the little thermometer thingy from Amazon. Shout out to Amazon. And that thing worked. I suggest everybody invest and get one. It's like it helps.
I might get one though. Yeah.
Yes. Now, what is some advice that you can give to those in leadership?
I definitely say, one, keeping the same foundation that I've been saying, being having your heart being open, and definitely being humble and being a listener. It's even more heavier when you're in leadership because sometimes we can abuse power, or sometimes we can overlook a lot of people. So not only just people, but God, we still gotta have that same foundation in our hearts towards God, because He's leading us on a whole different capacity. Now you're not responsible for just yourself, but you're responsible for others. I said others. So definitely continues going in that direction. And also, I definitely say being brave and bold and being totally trusting in God as a leader, because there's a lot of things He's going to call you to do different. There's a lot of things that He's going to reveal to you that He's not going to reveal to anybody else. But you have to be able to stand firm and be able to continuously flow to His direction of where He's pointing you to. And not only that, but this is one of the biggest things we have to understand in leadership as well, is that if God is for you, then who can be against you? That means anybody that tries to come at you with any type of adversity, opposition, it's not for you to fight. It's not for you to handle. It's not you. If you're in good standing and you're doing everything that God is telling you to do, you don't have to lift a finger, because God is going to handle that for you.
Yes. And don't be easily intimidated, especially in this season. And don't worry about what the next is doing, because, as you said, what's for you is for you. And if God be for you, nobody can be against you. Like, don't worry about what everybody else is doing, because the gift that He has on you is for you, and nobody else can do what He gave you. So keep that in mind as well. Like, I've noticed that a lot. There's a lot of lane switching, and it causes a lot of collision in the process. And then it's chaos, and then don't nothing get done. Know your lane.
Yes,
Stay in it. If He tells you to merge over, then that's when you merge over. And when He tell you to merge over, He's gonna make sure that it is clear for you to pass, so you don't run into nobody else. Stay in your lane, man. I'm telling you. It can avoid a lot of complications.
That's true.
Now, what about the members?
I say I'm gonna repeat this one a lot. It's the same foundation to having an open heart, being humble, listening. That can lead you to a lot of great things. That's one of the biggest foundations there. But also making sure that you not only trust your leader, but trust the God in your leader that's over you. Because a lot of times we don't see the real fullness call that they give. We don't see the real we don't understand as well. There may be some things that may be like, oh, I don't think that's a good call. Yeah. But still trusting the God in that person, that not only they're human and they make mistakes, but God has graced them and they will never lead you astray. Not only that, but making sure you have that same balance of God, that you're trusting in God yourself. Because there may be things that God is placing in you that you can literally be able to talk to the leadership as well about. And y'all can see that together and be on one accord together. So I would say definitely having that balance of trusting your leader full force and trusting the God in your leader, and also having that balance of being able to hear God for yourself.
You say that last line. Say that last line.
Definitely being able to hear God and trust God for yourself.
For yourself.
For yourself.
For yourself. Not for anybody else, because you're not doing this for anybody else. For yourself. Remember that. And speaking of that, knowing them for yourself, mentorship.
Big. That's big.
That's a big thing.
Yes.
So explain to them the importance of it. And, you know, I'll give you my little tidbit on it. I want to hear your opinion.
I definitely say mentorship is heavy, because everybody needs to have some type of mentorship. Somebody needs to not only just have somebody that's a covering over you and be able to help you where you are, but be able to lead you and grow you where you are. I know a lot of people, because I know a lot of people say that their pastor is their mentor and everything, and that's great. But it's also great to go outside of that and find that individual mentorship that you need for your life personally. Because especially within the creative arts ministry, we need somebody to mentor us within the creative arts ministry as well, to really give us that straightforward, specific dynamic stuff that we need, because it's important and it's vital. It's not just somebody that's just teaching you and reading to you and just babying you. That's somebody that's breathing into you, somebody that's growing with you, standing in the gap with you, and definitely covering you on the way. That's being your grace as well. So it's super important to your mentorship. Definitely.
Yes.
Big.
Yes, mentorship is important, but also seek God first in your, pursuit of it.
Yeah.
Ask God to send your mentor to you. Like, I know we have a lot of, big names where you got this person over here and this person over here, and you just kind of just cling to them because you're like, oh my God, I just want to do everything that they're doing. And I know that they know what they're doing, because look at where they are. Man, listen, y'all don't understand the time put in, the sacrifices, the tears, the loneliness, the pain, the betrayal that comes with being in leadership. So when you reach out to like somebody to like be your mentor, and they don't necessarily give you the response that you want, charge it to their heads and not their hearts. That's one thing.
Definitely.
Charge it to their heads and not their hearts. And also be careful who you seek out to be your mentor too, because there's a lot of predators out there. Especially they could smell that you fresh. They could smell it like, oh yes. Be careful with that too, because everybody ain't saved. All right, so just pray about that thing. Just be like, God, I know you lead me in everything, but I need somebody like here that I can actually touch to be like, hey, can you show me this? But ask God to send that person to you.
Definitely. Spiritual discernment.
Yes. Yep, that's it. You need discernment and you need wisdom in
Mm-hmm.
this walk, because a lot of things can be avoided.
A
Especially
lot.
when you take your emotions out of the way. Because it's spiritual, it's not emotional, it's a spiritual thing. And I think a lot of people get that mixed up sometimes.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a spiritual thing. It's not, leave the emotionalism aside, because that's not what this is.
Mm,
You could be emotional in your prayer closet when you're talking to God, but you can't be emotional when you're out here trying to minister to these people, because
definitely.
you're going to bleed out on them, and
Mm-hmm.
whatever you had on you is going to be on them.
Completely.
Don't do
That's
that.
big.
All right, so just put that in there. Drop that in your little think about it box. Now, what are your do's and don'ts in ministry?
Whew. I say dudes,
Mm-hmm.
stay in your lane.
Yep.
Don't merge over into anybody else's lane. That's just, don't do that. Do always prepare. Always make room for error.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times what we do is we always prepare, but we prepare within that moment, and we don't always make room for error. We always don't make room for anything to go wrong. Not saying that we're expecting it, not saying that we're looking for it, but honestly, things happen. So making room for error is always great. So preparation is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Always do is staying in posture. Don't is especially within a creative artist ministry. One thing that we can't afford is to hop in and hop out of posture whenever we want. Not just heart, but physically too. Because if we miss a day of working out, I miss a day of just anything, exercising, or even staying out of tune with God, we miss a lot. And it's hard for us to jump back in physically, get ourselves physically fit for the next time we have to minister, and then getting our hearts and our minds and our ears and our eyes postured to really hear Him is going to get harder. So really staying in posture 24/7 as much as you can, and always. I'm gonna say this one a lot. I'm sorry. This is just my foundation. Always listen. Don't. It's good for it's good to speak. It's good to push out. It's good to convey. But always listen. Make sure you're receiving what's coming back onto you. Don't mess up the light that's already being shined up. Don't try to overpower that light with your own light. Don't try to make it a self thing. It's not a me thing. It's a God thing.
Yeah.
Don't definitely don't what's the best way to word this? Don't force your hand to do a lot of the things that God is needing to do in the ministry. I say it like this. I can give an example. It may be better to say this.
Yeah.
A lot of times when we see a lot of people ministering, what we see is everybody is so quick to lay hands. Everybody's so quick to just sit here and just be like, oh,
Oh yeah. A few of
and
y'all
just
that came on here and said that.
really.
Don't be laying hands. Keep your hands to yourself.
Definitely, yeah, that's definitely a don't. If God is not telling you to do it, don't do it. Just chill back. Not just in that, but a lot of things, but mainly in that as well. Don't do that.
Oh man.
And I definitely want to say this. Woo. Hopefully, I'm not stepping on too many toes. But if you pulling out an old song, make sure God is directing you to that song before you pull it out. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Just
Yes. The old school songs hit different. That's a different type of Earl that you need for that one.
mm-hmm.
If you are CCW, that's where you need to stay.
Definitely.
Okay? If you full gospel, that's where you need to stay. If
Please.
you are Kojic, that is where you need to stay.
Stay.
If you are apostolic, that is where you need to stay. Unless he tell you to go somewhere.
Please just stay.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, the genres of music. I'm not talking about your denomination.
Yeah,
A little
definitely.
tidbit there, because we all serve the same God. We just do it in different ways.
Definitely.
That's all it is.
All
Now,
of it.
speaking speaking of that, how would you categorize your ministry? Yeah.
How would we categorize?
Mm-hmm.
Truthfully, I would say we're definitely how would you categorize us? I would say we're definitely I would say we're definitely it's hard to really say because
Examples. What I mean by categories.
definitely list them out there.
You the praise, the worship, warfare, travail, you're in prophetic.
See, that's the thing. We do shift in all areas a lot. We definitely go in a different territory each and every single time, and we're definitely effective in that. But I would say prophetic.
Okay.
I'll put it in there.
Prophetic. Okay. Okay. And I can kind of see that. I can kind of see y'all flowing in prophetic. That's good.
Glory to God.
Yeah.
Glory to God.
All right. Now, what is the most memorable moment before I ask you that, let me ask you this. What's one of the biggest mistakes you've made in ministry?
I'll say it would be when I first entered into leadership within the mime ministry. I would say the biggest mistake I ever made was not having the ministry in delegation, which means whatever specific role that they're in, what God has called them to do, actually letting them flow to that in the fullest capacity. Not saying that I took it away from them, not saying that I didn't allow them to grow into that position. But what I did was when I first started out, I basically did everything. And I believe that I felt like they had to, it was more putting a lot of grace where they were more than what they actually needed. Sometimes, especially within the creative arts ministry, sometimes it takes a push. Sometimes it really takes them pointing them the right direction and allowing them to really walk into it themselves.
Yeah.
I did that, but I said, I got you. I know you're not there yet. Let me just handle that, and I got you. And you grow along the way seeing it versus, okay, now this is where I'm seeing you where God is really shifting you. Do you see that for yourself? And can you walk to it for yourself? If you can't, let me help you.
Yeah.
So I definitely say that was one of the biggest things that I messed up on the beginning when I first walked into leadership is delegation.
Yes, you got to help the babies now. You got to help them cultivate. Because a lot of people don't know what that means.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've been noticing as of recent. A lot of people don't know that cultivation is not just in the agricultural.
Yeah.
Culture. That's in everything that we do. You're not talking about plants over here, y'all. Yes, cultivate the gifts, whatever it may be, and let somebody help you.
Definitely.
Because you may be pouring, the wrong type of water in your cup. Come on, y'all. You need purified, not filtered. You need this and not spring. You got to know what you pouring. Just keep that in mind. Now,
definitely.
Let's stay there. What's the most embarrassing moment you've had? We all have one.
See, I didn't want to say this one. I got two most embarrassing moments. I go ahead and give both of them just to be real.
Okay.
So I remember we was doing this song. It was "Take Me to the King," and we was super young. It was the last part, and it was when Tamala Man was just going on with the notes. I was jumping and I had socks on, and my robe got caught under my foot, so I landed face planted on the floor. But by the grace of God, I played it off and it went plan B and said, "Thank you, Jesus," while I was on the floor. So couldn't nobody really tell if I was in the spirit when I actually just face planted, just a little bit. So by the grace of God.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah. Still remember it like it was yesterday. It was fresh, super fresh. Yeah, it was a long time
I'm
ago.
grateful to say that I've never fallen.
Really?
You know what? I take that back. I've fallen in rehearsal, but not in front of the people. Yeah, I've never fallen. I had a situation where we were, Bishop Paul Martin is my spiritual father. So this is when we had a scholarship gala. This was years ago. We had a scholarship gala. It was like one of the first and only. We never had one after that. No, that was the only one, and it was at the convention center, right, the World Congress Center up there by the airport, and it was nice. So they asked the dancers to do like an African piece, which I'm all for because I love. Listen, hello, I love African dance. So we ordered these kente type garments. And so when they got there, they was like, "Okay, you guys, let's try them on and let's rehearse it." So it was a little weird fitting. It was, but it was like, you know what, you got to warm up to it because it's a different type of material. I was like, okay, so this is like the real deal. So we put it on and we in rehearsal, and me and my partner started the dance off, and when I tell you I fell, and my leader, she was like, "No, keep going," and I'm like, "I'm on the floor." So I had to hurry up and get back up, and everybody was just like kind of muffled in their laughs. It was like, "Oh my God, ShaQuann. What if we were in front of all of those people? The floor the floor that we danced on at the actual gala was kind of slippery, so thank God it didn't fall. But we were on carpet in rehearsal, so I was so bad. I was like, I don't want to wear this. Yeah, it made me fall. I don't know how I fell. I didn't have on any shoes. I didn't have on any socks. Really? I just went, and they got it on tape.
Oh, that's worse. Oh, yeah.
You know, they recorded it so we can remember the dance, but we only did it once. And so that was the only one that everybody went off of. And so now it's like, okay, everybody can see, okay, ShaQuann fell. And I wanted to do it again, but they was like, no, this is perfect. Let's just leave it the way it is. But I'm like, I'm on here busting my face. Come on, man. So that was the only time I fell. I've never fallen like during a ministry moment, probably because of all the adrenaline, and like I'm usually light on my feet when I dance. Yeah. I mean, I walk hard, so I've been told. I walk hard. I don't know what that means, but I've been told that I walk hard. But I'm really light on my feet when I dance, so it was kind of. I'm grateful.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, I'll fall down a few times behind the scenes because I'm slightly clumsy. But when it's time.
I wish I could say same grace, but hey, too late for that.
I'm going to pour that on you, same grace. Lord, don't let him fall. Come on now. He could fall behind the scenes, but not in front of people now.
That was the only time too. That was the only time I ever felt. That was after that. It was.
Oh
I had to
man,
make sure I was set and everything else. So
I can only imagine. Now let's end on a good note. What is the most memorable moment? The greatest? You just can't never ever forget it. I know we got a lot of them, but what is one that you hold near and dear to you?
I'd say it has to be one of it's not too recent, but it's recent enough. It was this moment where we were ministering in a production, and it was in Carrollton. I forgot which one it was, but there were this two other mom ministries that was there that we had history with. We definitely are bros in ministry, so you definitely did minister with each other before, and not only that, but we've definitely ministered in the same songs, just not at the same time with each other. So we were the Spirit of God was already there. We already felt it. Prophesying was already going on in the back. Praying was going on in the back. It was crazy. The Spirit was just high. So it came down to us doing the song "Jesus" by Eddie James. And I told them before, I was like, yo, we're all bros, and we definitely have to hit this together in unity. And what I'm seeing is you guys jumping in at a certain part. And I was like, I don't know which part y'all going to jump out on. But, I definitely see you guys coming in there. And it was like, all right, I got you. So they paid attention while we were ministering. They caught on, and they jumped in towards Alpha, Omega, beginning, and the end, and it was phenomenal. It wasn't even about how it looked. It looked awesome, but it was just everything was all there in the mix, and it was just so amazing. I'll never forget it. That was the biggest point of unity that I was like, yo, gotta do it again. Gotta do it again.
Yeah.
Choreograph this time, but gotta do it again.
Yes, that's one thing I love about this too. I love getting together with other ministries because it's just a different type of it's just a different type of push. It's a different type of power there. Like, yeah, we can do it by ourselves, but when we get others with the same agenda, like, and we're all aligned, like, it's just, you could just see it. Oh man, that's like my favorite thing ever. I love working with other people. It's just amazing.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh man, but thank you so much for stepping into the dance room today.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Please let everyone know where they can find you on social media.
Got you. So you can definitely find me on my own page on Facebook, Fred Robinson. If you don't see me under there, then you'll see me under the King Connection page. You will just send a message to me and I'll add you in there. Or Church Without Walls, my ministry page. I'm also under there a lot as well. Send me another message if you want to join there as well. Or Radical Faith Arts Academy. The page is not active due to the fact that I haven't released the school open to the public, but you are welcome to join and support. And so if you feel free to do it. And I also recently just created an Instagram trying to be update with everyone.
All right now.
So you can find me at Fred.Robinson. I think I have numbers behind my name, so I can't remember the full Instagram. I was going, but
Facebook will suffice. All right, so you guys know where to find Fred. Of course, you know where you can find A Gift to Dance. You can like and subscribe to our channel, A Gift to Dance TV. You can like our page on Facebook, A Gift to Dance Conference, as well as follow us on Instagram at A Gift to Dance. Also, if you like to sow into our ministry, of course, this is good ground. You can do so via Cashapp, that $, A Gift to Dance. Also, you can click our link on any one of our social media platforms, and we have other ways that you can donate there as well. Now until next time, I will see y'all in the dance room. Bye bye.